Welcome back. So in this video, I want to give a few additional thoughts really quick on online dating and why I feel it to be pretty fucked overall. And this is a horse that has been beaten to death. I realize that, but I think reminders can be valuable, and it can. I want to afford some reassurance for anyone out there who might have been feeling similar to how I was feeling pretty recently after having downloaded a few online dating apps. And just some reminders. One of them being there are a lot of more dudes on there genuinely looking to meet up with people than the females. Way more. There are way more guys looking to meet up with ladies than there are ladies looking to meet up with fellas. Like a lot more. That's one. And I want to talk about like how there are a lot of subtleties. There's a lot of nuance when it comes to getting to know someone and deciding whether or not you want to continue to be around them and like engage with them intimately, romantically, and like what kind of a person they are and all the like what goes into what we like who we are as individuals. There's a lot more that goes into that outside of like our ability to look photogenic in photographs and our ability to construct an interesting bio and our occupation, because that's really like that's a lot of what you're boiled down to on online dating. And if you're an average guy with an average occupation and an average ability to look interesting and sound interesting, then you're gonna be fucked. You don't stand a chance on online dating, but you might stand a chance if you meet people in person, and that's becoming more difficult though. So I guess the gist of what I wanted to say in this video is just there are many reasons as to why the average guy nowadays you shouldn't really engage in online dating. There are tons of reasons, especially if you're looking for more than just fucking. But even if you're just looking to fuck, I would argue that you're better off meeting women in person if you can help it. You know, you should put yourself out there, and easier said than done, of course, but yeah, you got a lot going against you if you're trying to meet women off of dating apps. A lot. There's a lot that is in the way of doing that successfully. If you're an average, even if you're like above average guy with an above average occupation, an above average whatever, insert anything, you're probably you're better off trying to meet people in person. So the very last point that I wanted to just quickly end this video on, something that I hinted at a little bit ago, was just, there's so much that makes us who we are as people. There is so much that goes into what makes us desirable intimately in the eyes of women. In this case, what makes men desirable in the eyes of women. There's so much that goes into that is just completely imperceptible, impossible to recognize on swiping through shit tons of people. And there's just an overabundance of options. So it's just, and I think that the more time you spend on these sorts of apps and directing your attention towards these similar things, the more you place your sense of self-worth on these sorts of things, the less of those, like the actual substance of who you are as your identity, your personality, the more and more that will be taken away from. The more time you spend on online dating, the more time you spend chatting with shit tons of gauging who they are based on pictures and trying to just the more and more, the gradually more and more you will be less than what you are. And I noticed this with me, and it's so tempting. It's so incredibly tempting to engage in similar things that do take away from our ability to form genuine connections with people in real life. And this is just one, and this is one of the many things that is greatly contributing, I think. And it's this, it's the cycle. It's like this loop of the more you engage in it, the more that will happen, and the more that happens, the more you will engage in it, and the less desire you'll have to put yourself out there in real life, and the more you'll fantasize about delusions of grandeur, and the further and further away you'll become from actually being able to source the things at which you're fantasizing over, like a relationship, for example. And again, it's a horse that has been beaten to death, but reminders can be helpful. Just another voice into the void when it comes to this particular thing. And as always, let me know what your thoughts are on anything that I've said in this video. And goodbye.